Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be showing a comparison between two watercolor sets, the Pearl Colors and the Gem Colors from Karatake Gonze Tambi. I believe that's how you say that. Both of which I am using comparison on black cardstock. This is Lawn Fawn black cardstock, and I am using the Mama Elephant Botanic Thanks stamp set. I have the hello version of this, and when they came out with the thank you version, I knew I had to have that because this is such a fun image to watercolor. I've done it with watercolors, and I've done it with Zig clean. How do you say those? The Zig water brush pens. The real brush tip ones, you know what I'm talking about. Anywho, so I am using white heat embossing on these, and I'm of course doing two panels because, as I said, I'm going to be comparing these two watercolor sets. So just doing the prep work for these cards. Because I'm embossing such large areas, I did use an anti-static powder tool so that the white embossing powder would not stick to areas in which I did not want it to. I suggest this if you are going to try to do large images like this. So just going to clean up my space a little bit and then bring over my heat gun and just heat emboss these two panels. I do like to heat emboss on a wood cutting board. This is the one that Christina Werner and Jennifer McGuire both suggest using. It's pretty cheap off Amazon. I think I paid like $10 for it, somewhere in that ballpark. I'm also using the new ThermoWeb purple tape to hold my piece onto the board. I've been using this tape for a while and I really do like it. It serves a lot of purposes. So those are the two palettes. So I'm just spraying them with water. I find with this brand of watercolors, the Gonze Tambi, that it is best to wet them and then kind of pick up the pigment that way. So just putting water directly into the wells. So for the remainder of this video, for the most part, it's just going to be me painting. It's sped up dramatically, I think 4 times. One panel took me just about half an hour to watercolor. So I actually bought these watercolors off of Amazon. I had seen a video from Amy, who's Prairie Paper and Ink here on YouTube, where she used the gem set. And I loved the way that her project came out, and I looked into buying them. And I think on like Simon Says Stamp and Ellen Hudson, the palette's just over $20 for 6 watercolors. I thought that was a little bit expensive. These are very metallic, and so it's a very specific look that you need to be going for. And I just decided to search on Amazon and see, and they actually sell these palettes in a 3-pack. So you get the pearl, the gem, and the palette that is all gold tones, which I forget what it's called, and I'm not sitting near it. Sorry about that. But I have it linked down below, the link that I bought these off Amazon, because I picked up all 3 of these for around $20. It's much, much cheaper to buy them off Amazon. Every once in a while for things like this, I do look at the pricing on Amazon and see if it's cheaper to buy there than it is from Simon Says or Ellen Hudson. And this was one of those where it was way cheaper, and it's on Amazon Prime. I really don't know very many people that don't pay for Amazon Prime. Sorry, my head's really in the way right there. It's everything comes in 2 days, sometimes in 1 day. So it is really, really helpful to have, especially for crafting, because every once in a while I find things like this that, I could just easily buy off of Amazon for much cheaper, and it came really, really quick. I know some people have hard times with like shipping, especially from Simon Says. I've never experienced that. If I order something on a Thursday, it arrives at my house the following Thursday for the most part, if that makes sense. So it takes just about a week to get it to me. Ellen Hudson will ship things same day. Like I've placed orders and they've shipped things to me that same day. So, there's basically nothing I can't wait a week for. But sometimes when you want something, it's nice that Amazon can have it to you so quickly. So, like I said, the link of what exactly I bought is down in the description box. Also, more information on how I made these cards and links as well are over on my blog. That's always listed in the description box as well, the link to the blog post where I feature these cards. So I'm just going through painting all of the leaves, all of the flowers. I was kind of concerned on this one that the color wasn't showing through as much. Like almost all of what I was picking up on my paintbrush was the shimmer and not the pigment. But I think in the final project you can see, you really do see the color. On the gem version, the color is very vibrant. So it just depends on whether or not you want a more muted pastel look or you're looking for something more jewel toned and vibrant. On both of these cards, I left the thanks letters black. I think that it's just nicer to be able to see them really clearly defined. And if I had colored them, it would have blended in with the background. So just wrapping up my painting, I tried to do all of the leaves all at the start, and you realize that, you do miss a few here and there. Sometimes it's hard to see it all when you first start and you're just having it take shape. It's just white lines on a black piece of cardstock, so it's kind of hard to tell. Also, I did want to point out that this cardstock is not watercolor cardstock. I had no issues with pilling or any type of extreme warping on these. I'm not using a ton of water, but I don't see why you would have any issue doing this on, non-watercolor. I think that I have not tried to paint these on white paper, but I can't imagine that they'd turn out very vibrant. So here really quickly, these are the gem colors, and I think you can tell just by looking at them in the packaging that they are a lot more vibrant. I'm not going to show you the painting of this entire panel, just going to show you the start of it so that you can see me paint this one, and then I paint the rest off camera because you saw me paint the entire pearl toned. But I will show you both here shortly in the end. It was helpful coloring the second because I had just colored the first, so I had it there for reference. It was a little harder for me to miss some of the leaves and things like that, like I had that first time around, and I kept having to go back to the green. I could look at the other panel and see where all the leaves were a little bit more clearly. I kind of wish that for things like this, their Mama Elephant would print something on the packaging that showed you what it was supposed to look like. Because there are a number of areas where you're like, is that a leaf? Is that just background? And it'd be kind of nice to see that and know. I'm sure I could have looked on their blog for more examples. I need to get better at looking at companies' blogs and things like that. I try not to on some level because I end up wanting to create what they've created, if that makes sense. So, okay, so here are the two panels in the end. So that is the pearl, which is much more pastel, and here is the gem, very vibrant, very bold. I really do like both. I'm not sure which I really like better. And here they are on cards. I just cut the panels down and stuck them onto white top fold cards. So that is what I have for you today. Thank you so much for joining me here. Like I said, more information is over on my blog and links are down below. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.